utilise the College Valley rather than the Trellaswell site. I'm going to introduce the officers. Matt Williams, the gentleman in the middle, is Cornwall Council Principal Planning Officer. Matt Brown is the Cornwall Council Planning Delivery Group Leader. And we're also very pleased to have Louise Dwelly with us, and she's the Cornwall Strategic Affordable Housing Manager. We will have a short introduction by one of the planning officers, which will be followed by questions and comments from you. We will take the questions in the order that you registered, as per the list. And please make your questions succinct and to the point. Please try not to repeat questions, but if you need clarification, please ask. If you no longer wish to speak, your question has been covered by previous questions, please indicate so that we don't waste valuable time. Right.
Hopefully people will hear me without that. Good evening, everyone. What we thought would be really useful to do is before we get into kind of the debate around the sites themselves, is
Can you hold the meeting out? Otherwise people can't hear.
So, no, Mike, hold it. Hello, hello. No.
Hang on, this time. Yes.
Hello? Yeah. Can you hear me now? What we wanted to do before kind of going into the debate around the sites themselves is to set a bit of a context of the project as a whole, because it may give a slightly better understanding of some of the work that's been going on over a number of years now. What Cornwall Council has been doing through the planning service is setting its planning documents for the next 20 years. Now, what we may often refer to as kind of a plan period. And this is a period that we're already into now, so it's from 2010 to 2030. And what we're producing is a local plan. Now, that sounds like a single document, but actually what we're producing is, or what the local plan refers to, is a suite of documents. But the two that I'll perhaps focus on briefly is the strategic policies document and the allocations development plan document, what we often refer to as just DPD. The first document, the strategic policies document, as the name suggests, sets out kind of the key things that we want to do within Cornwall, and setting kind of those key policies that developers have to adhere to, and planning officers, when reviewing planning applications, they will review those against those policies and national policy. Now, as a document, that's something that has got to a state where we've submitted it to the Secretary of State, and that it's about to go, well, within a couple of months, 2 to 3 months, we'll go through an independent examination. Now, the reason I mention that document as a starter is that within that document, what that set is the level of housing growth and level of economic growth that we're looking to deliver over the next 15 years now, again up to 2030. So as I'm sure many of you are aware, the housing growth proposed for all of Cornwall is 47,500, but within that, what it also sets is where that growth should be set on a global level. So of what's most interest to yourselves is that strategic policies document also says that of that 47,500, we should be delivering 2,600 houses within the Falmouth and Penryn area. So that's kind of as a starter, and that's something that's been through our council and is now going on for that independent examination. What's kind of coming up just behind that is what I refer to as the allocations document. Now, that document kind of takes the lead from the strategic policies and goes into the next level of detail. So what that's tasked with doing is saying, okay, for the Falmouth and Penryn area, we've got to deliver 2,600 houses. How are we going to deliver those? What sites are we going to deliver those on? And kind of what's the strategy that sets around that? And obviously another critical point is the infrastructure that we'll need to deliver to accommodate that level of growth. So that's a piece of work that's been going on for some time now, working with local community representatives. We also did a consultation in 2012, appreciate some time ago now, which was identifying a number of different options that we'd identified that could deliver some of that growth. What I also want to just mention is that I know, and it's something that we kind of encounter in a number of different places that we go, because often some of the plans that we produce only look at identifying some of those larger sites. But as a process, what we start off by doing is looking at what we can deliver within the existing urban area. So there's a process of looking at what's been completed, so how many houses has been completed between April 2010, which again is the start of the program, up until now. So that number, which is around 500 for this area, that comes off of that 2,600 total. What we also look at is what housing has been permitted within Falmouth and Penryn and is still to be delivered. Again, that will come off the total. And we also look at what other development we believe could come forward within the existing urban area. So as a result of kind of those exercises, it gets to a point where we know what's left. What's left of that target that do we need to deliver on sites on the edge of the area, on greenfield sites. And that's kind of the start of a process then to look at sites which obviously the site that you're particularly interested in this evening is one of those sites that we're proposing to allocate. But obviously we're here tonight to kind of hear your views on those. I think just one final thing from me, because I was told it should be brief and it's probably longer than it should be already. But one final thing was, obviously there's kind of two separate, it looks like very similar process that's going on at the moment, is that as Cornwall Council what we're doing is setting this plan where we think growth should go, and that as I said, that's a process that's been going on for some time now. What we've also got, and I'm sure many of you have come along to the meeting on Monday, is a developer that's proposing something on one of those areas that we're looking to do. Now, I know it's extremely hard to try and kind of disaggregate those two issues, but what I want to say is kind of what we're looking at today is the principle of the development. So that's hopefully what we can focus on today's meeting. And the final point that I want to make is that when we get through this process, kind of where we go next is once we kind of come to a final strategy, final set of sites for the Falmouth and Penryn area, that with the other towns will go into this allocations document and it will go through our members to see whether they want to ratify that as a strategy. It will then have to go out to a further round of public consultation, which is, we estimate, in the summertime. And then after that, subject to kind of the review of those comments, if we're satisfied with those comments, that is a document will also have to go through an independent examination, through an independent examiner that will come down and see whether they feel it's an appropriate plan for us. And one of the key things they'll keep asking us about is deliverability. So I hope that sets a bit of context. I'm sure many of the points that are going to be raised about the specifics of the site, but that's kind of where we're getting to and kind of the work that's been going on and why we're looking at kind of different sites within this area.
Right, first speaker or question is from Daniel Carton-Brown.
Hello everybody. As we just heard, 2,600 homes need to be built between 2010 and 2030. On the last SLAR document I had a look at from 2014, 1,166 have been built and we've got 1,434 left to build. I think there's a recent update on that and I think there's 700 left to build. We've got 15 years to build those 700, so we have got time. I'd just like to ask the councillors to make sure that they realise that when they come to make a decision about prioritising the local area. I hope they can thoroughly read the urban extension assessment report and kind of see it for what it is, because it seems to be, I've been looking for it heavily today, that it's steered massively by the developer, massively. you don't need to prioritise it. Sorry, excuse me. You don't need to prioritise this area as planning. I'm sure will be submitted. It's going to get submitted anyway. That's another fight we've got to fight at that time. But please support those people of our town who spent their own time and money researching, promoting and protecting an area previously so vehemently supported by previous councils. And the question really is we all realise that the majority of the prioritisation areas in Budop Parish. Why is the Penryn Town Council being asked to prioritise an area not in their jurisdiction? That's open to everyone. I just wanted to know why.
Yes, we're going to get an answer.
In terms of the question, I think when we started the process, we wasn't looking at administrative boundaries. Our focus was trying to find the best sites for the towns of Falmouth and Penryn. So we appreciate the sites, some of which, or a significant portion of which, is within Budop Parish. But again, what we're looking at is not administrative boundaries.
Okay.
Can I just, on the couple of other points you raised, I think timing is an important point. There is 15 years left of the plan period. However, we've got to get a plan in place. I think the longer us as a Cornwall Council, as a council, is without an adopted planning document, a suite of planning documents, the more vulnerable we are to ad hoc development coming forward. The sooner we get a plan in place which suggests how we believe we can deliver growth. I appreciate it's perhaps not a plan that you're supportive of at the moment, or depending on where it goes in the end, but we need a plan that we can use to help determine planning applications. And the final point is the developer hasn't steered the process. Appreciate the points, whether you want to believe that or not, but it's not something that the developer has steered at all.
Yeah. So the question was, why has Penryn got to decide? Why has Penryn Town Council got to decide? Why have they got to make that decision when it is majority in Budop? That is the question there.
Sure. Okay, well, we're asking both Penryn and Budop and Falmouth Town Councils, all three, to kind of give us their opinions on whether they feel that the work that we've done is appropriate or not. So we're doing it to all three.
So why aren't they here?
I can answer for them, but there are going to be separate meetings with Budop to go through the same issues.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Chris Daniels. Chris, you want to put your hand up?
I actually asked to speak last because I'm not
We'd
going to
rather
ask
just go
questions.
straight through the list if we could.
I asked the lady at the door if I could speak last because I'm just going to make a statement.
Okay.
If I can do that, please.
Right. The next question is from Barry Cooper. Barry?
I think my one's for clarification, really, and I'm just open to everybody to try and answer it. I've lived in Penryn 20 years and also worked here, so I know the town quite well, many of you. And I was a bit baffled when I heard that there had been a consultation process, so I kind of did my research. And I thought, well, when were the people of Penryn consulted about the Glasgow Fields going into the development plan? I understand the need for affordable housing and sustainability, water and town. Okay, sorry. I understand.
It sounds pretty good what you're saying, but you can't hear because
Okay.
you're away from the paper.
Oh, sorry. I won't make the paper. I have to look at it. It says in the notes of the Penryn Town Council, just put my glasses on. This is about the DPD, the Development Plan Document, which was for all of Cornwall. Now, it says in the Penryn Town Council notes
Just shuffle it.
that a public consultation was held in the town hall in Penryn, and a summary of the processes to the consultation can be found here. Am I correct in that? I've looked through the summary of the responses, and the consultation deals with the whole of the development plan. Am I correct in that? From almost Saltash, there's Plymouth Council on it, Bernard Deakin and academics, RSPB, English Heritage, English Nature. The consultation, 928 responses, I think, are dominated by consultants representing the developers. Now, that seems a funny public consultation to me about the field that we're... Thank you. It seems a strange consultation about the... sorry, I'm okay with that.
Just get rid of
The consultation was about the whole of Cornwall, I'm right in that?
Can you drop the microphone?
The whole development plan, is that all right?
Just get rid of it.
Okay, I'll do that. When was there, because then it said, the next paragraph goes on to say that after that, Penryn Council had their eyes open and unfortunately had to accept what the Cornwall Council said. When was the public consultation concerning those fields over there involving the people of Penryn? I mean, did anyone come to it? Hands up, show of hands.
Did anyone hear about it?
No. That's a bit funny. I thought it was a public
How many people were
consultation.
there? Who
Can we
attended?
not have a free-for-all?
No, they are relevant questions that I'd like to ask. But, you know, it seems nobody here knew about it or came. So in what sense was that public?
I think I'm not sure with some of the points he was raising and what he was quoting. I'm not sure exactly which consultation you're referring to there, because there is one which is relating again to the strategic policies document, so kind of the overarching document, which I think, I would need to check, but I think that was the one that you were quoting some of the responses from. As I said in the introduction, there was a consultation. We do appreciate it was some time ago now, but there was a public consultation in 2012.
In Penryn Town Hall?
Yes, and there was an exhibition within the area which was publicised at the time, which was identifying, as a result of some of that initial work, was identifying kind of, I think it was, I'm just checking how many sites? 5 sites.
And 3 were eliminated, leaving 2.
Well, we're going through that process at the moment.
Right,
So
I'm just quoting from the Penryn Town Council notes. I wonder which of the town councillors wrote those notes.
Hands up.
Where did you get the notes from?
Off the internet.
Well, off the minutes of our meetings?
No, it's College Valley, Penryn Town Council notes on College Valley background, allocation and development plan. It then says, interestingly enough, that after this public consultation in Penryn Town Hall, following the consultation and the evidence gathering, the initial sites were eliminated. Some of the initial sites were eliminated, which you've just said, and I agree. Leaving just 2 in Penryn, namely Penryn North and College Valley. Planning officers provided a report to the council on January the 5th, 2015. The town council reluctantly accepted that based on the evidence available, College Valley had the potential to deliver around 200 to 250 houses. But where was the public consultation with the residents of Penryn between the council reluctantly accepting it and the consultation about the overall package, which I understand? Well, you know, seems to be a step missing. Thank you. I have a supplementary question after you finish, thanks.
I think that where we're at the moment is, as I said, it's an unfortunate situation that there was such a long time between the original options consultation, the one in 2012, and where we are now.
Allowing walkers to get their act together.
Well,
How come such a slip has happened then?
but what we're doing is, we was asking for opinions there. The next step that we're looking to do is do that public consultation. So we had the options, as you referred to, that was in the public domain. We are going through a process, we're trying to conclude a process in identifying of those sites which are the preferred options, and those preferred options that will then be going out to public consultation again.
Sorry,
What do you mean
Barry, I
again?
just ask him a question?
You could, well,
It's
quite
quite
important because it's what Barry's actually asking.
No,
is.
you.
It's what Barry's actually.
We are
I've
following
lost
the
Barry. I
procedure.
know.
You're
It's
not
quite-
answering the questions.
What I'm doing is I'm standing up for Penryn here. You're not answering the question. What he's asking is why, if people here who are clearly up in arms about this development and would have been so 3 years ago also, therefore the public consultation was completely inadequate.
Yes.
Full stop. It wasn't a public consultation. That's what he's asking.
It wasn't.
Could I?
I have a supplementary question which I did ask for. From the size of the petition and the level of the dissent towards the development, it's evident that the consultation process 2011-12 was ineffective in terms of eliciting local responses. And as we see, nobody here knew about it or went to it. How can you go ahead on that
It
basis?
was not a secret. It was well advertised. It was in the town hall. Anybody could go. Everybody was welcome. If you don't
Well,
turn
hang on a
up-
minute, I haven't finished yet. Let's abide by procedure. My question is, how can the council evidence that the consultation process was sufficient, robust and meaningful? Specifically, can the council quantify, and this I would like in writing, quantify the level of resident participation to demonstrate that the process was valid and that local people were heard? Thank you.
Where's the
Hang on. No, can you say whether you could quantify how many local people took part?
We will get.
Can I just say that it wasn't a town council's consultation,
No.
so we wouldn't have those figures, but we can.
No, but where are the figures?
Cornwall Council will have.
Cornwall Cap, so that's my question to you, Matt. Could you please quantify the level of local part? I can see how many consultants, developers, consultants and national bodies are on there from the thing, but that covers the whole of Cornwall. Regarding this, how many local people said something?
I don't have the figures here, but we'll
Thank you.
get the information.
If you could trawl them, and I will represent it.
Madam Mayor, if I could just say, when we had the framework presentation at the town hall back in 2012, 70 people from Falmouth and Penryn commented. I believe it was 70 people that would 70 people commented on the framework when we did the presentation in the town hall in 2012. I know one person who did comment, and that was Eric Dawkins. I don't know any of the other people. I was in and around the town hall at the time, but off the top of my head, I don't know who else.
If I might respond, I have done a very strict analysis.
If you heard what the planning officer said, there will be a consultation later on in the year. Is that what you said, Matt? So, you know, you will have a chance then. We've done what we've done because we were asked to do it. We weren't asked to put on a consultation, but as you heard just now, you will be getting a consultation, I would say, towards the end of the summer.
If you don't mind my saying, that's
Just a minute,
leapfrogging a
Mr.
stage.
Cooper, just a minute. You've had a good
Okay,
bite
fine.
of the cherry here. Let's show a little respect to our mayor. You've got a public meeting, we're here to listen to you, but we can't listen when you're not listening to our answers. So let's have a bit of respect for our town mayor. Back to you, Madam Mayor.
Okay, the next question is Lindsay Mackenzie.
You haven't answered the last question. With all due respect, you are councillors here to support your parishioners, but you're not supporting them. You're pushing their questions. We still don't know the question of when you put this to the public. You said that you had a meeting which involved potential places to build, but nothing was defined about building in the Glasney Valley. And the guy has just asked a question, when
Are
is
you
it
Lizzie
put to the
Mackenzie?
public? No.
Oh, right.
But
Well,
what
Lizzie
I'm saying
Mackenzie's
is you
over
haven't
there. She
answered
wants
the
to
last
ask
question. So
questions.
what if you're going to keep moving on?
Going to answer the
You are here to support people and not to defend it rather than support it.
Lindsay, would you answer your question, please?
Hillhead is the
a main access route for the proposed development. A recent official survey, can everyone hear if I use it? A recent official survey recorded approximately 1,200 cars a day using the road under the railway bridge. The road already strains due to overuse and is a dangerous place for pedestrians, cyclists, dog walkers, drivers and school children using the road daily. The Highway Agency are already struggling to find ways to solve the safety issues created by pinch points dictated by existing dwellings up and down Hill Head, let alone along Eastwood Road, St Thomas Street and College Hill. The road cannot accommodate any more traffic, which surely this development will bring. How does the Town Council assess Hill Head to have the capacity to safely carry any more vehicles and agree this is a strong argument to reject the proposal?
You turn that mic on.
The planning, Chairman of Planning will just...
Could I just say, first of all, highways, obviously that's a very specific area. We're not experts on highways, and the consultee response will come from Cornwall Highways, not us. So,
But this is going to have a direct impact.
Yes, it will. We might agree with what you're saying, but we're not consultees on the highways.
Okay, so my question, I'll read it again.
It is down to the developer.
I'm a little bit nervous and
Sorry, no, that's okay.
I'll read it again.
Okay.
How does the Town Council assess Hill Head to have the capacity to safely carry any more vehicles?
Right. We don't assess it as a town council. We will look at the findings and the response from highways when the planning application comes in. It is down to the developer to put his case forward on how he thinks that it will manage that further amount of traffic, and it's up to highways to either endorse it or kick it out at that stage, and they will give their response, and we will look at their response.
Rubbish.
Oh, that's
So you wash your hands of it?
no, not at all. We look at their response because they're the experts in it.
Yeah, we are consultees, just like you are.
was quoted as too narrow, and therefore against it.
Can we please stick to the running order?
Let's stick to the running order.
If you want to speak later when we've done the list.
I
was also asking if you agree that this would be a strong argument to reject the proposal.
It would be. Of course it would be.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no proposal yet. We haven't been asked to look at a planning
There is a
application.
proposal, isn't there? Water development's
No, it's
proposed on
not.
Monday night.
It's an idea. It's not a proposal. It's not a proposal. It's an idea.
When the developer, if or when the developer puts in an application, with that application will come a study done by a company whose expertise he will pay for, and that will be assessed by Cornwall Council's highways officers. We will get that response, and then we will discuss it as part of the planning application. And it's an important one, and I agree with what you're saying, and it's an important one.
Yeah, I just want clarification that you agree that this is a very important issue in our town, and this development will have a major impact on the roads.
You
They
can't
can't even carry the cars that use it currently.
Right off the bat, can I just, right off the bat, 220 houses, what they're proposing, or around that figure, is going to be a huge amount of extra traffic. It is down to that developer to prove that Hill Head, the road, and the infrastructure around it will take it. And if not, it's up to him to make sure it does take it as part of the proposal. Okay? Is that all right?
I'm just going to say, we only found out about that proposal on Monday at the presentation with you. We haven't had time to sit down and discuss it or look at the plans or anything. So you're asking us a question that we can't give you the answer.
It's about the prioritisation.
Yeah, sorry, No, because sorry, I've had chance to stand and think about this today, and I've had time to reflect on what happens on Monday
We have to
night.
make a communal decision. It's not just one person. It's the whole council has to make that decision. And we haven't had a council meeting to make that decision.
But this area has been prioritised for building for ages. There's plans, you can Google it and find images of this area that's planned for proposal with the access in and out on the Hill Head.
proposals.
Well,
Well, that's what we're asking.
but you just told me it's not, you know. It's very curious to me that Hill Head, there's an area. Oh, sorry.